What a wild finish to Thursday Night Football. Kyler Murray intercepted in the closing seconds of the game. The Packers escape with a huge win, 24-21 the final. Sports Wrap, starting right now.
Fox 11 Sports Wrap, sponsored by Spectrum Mobile. Get 2+ lines of unlimited for only $29.99 each. You could save up to 60% at SpectrumMobile.com.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Week 8 edition of Thursday Night Football Sports Wrap. I'm Kyle Kraska. Great to have you with us tonight. The Packers defeating the Cardinals 24-21. Here's what we have planned for you. We are talking to LA Times NFL writer Sam Farmer. Sam's going to give us the latest on the Rams owner Stan Kroenke's drama at the NFL owners meetings, and we'll discuss the upcoming trade deadline. Plus, we have reports from the Rams and the Chargers practices today. Week 8 fantasy projections, and our Fox 11 favorite things. But first, let's take a closer look at the game tonight. Joining me, as usual, Vince Ferragamo to my left, along with the Hall of Famer Jackie Slater. And out on Pitts Island, we've got Ron Pitts. Gentlemen, great to have you all with us tonight. We had a lot of fun watching this football game. Why don't we begin with the highlights, and then we'll start to break it all down. Of course, Aaron Rodgers on the road in this one, taking on Kyler Murray and the undefeated Arizona Cardinals coming into this game. Perfect 7-0. Let's not forget, Packers lost their first game of the season and have not lost since. First quarter action here, no score. Murray throwing deep down the sideline, finding DeAndre Hopkins as he goes into the end zone. No touchdown signaled. There's a flag on the play, and it's on Hopkins, called for a face mask penalty that negates the touchdown.
They're going to call that every single time because he grabbed his face mask. He didn't push it, he grabbed it.
So instead of a touchdown, it's a 55-yard gain into the red zone. And now it is a touchdown for the Packers. That's make it 10-7. Rodgers to Randall Cobb, his favorite target, especially now that his top three receivers are out of this football game.
It shows you what chemistry will do between quarterback and receiver.
All right, now first play of the fourth quarter. It's 3rd and 5. Rodgers to Cobb again to make it 24-14. Remember, no Devontae Adams in this game, out with COVID protocols. Now we go late to the fourth, less than 4 minutes to play. 24-21 Packers. Green Bay 4th and goal. Rodgers' throw is batted down.
What do you think of that, Ron?
I mean, how many passes can you throw inside the 5-yard line?
I know, on the 1 foot line, not even 1 inch line.
I mean, am I that dated?
They left the run.
What happened?
All,
what happened?
We were all yelling at the screen, run the football, run the football.
You're in the shotgun for get under center.
Unbelievable. There's
too many more options under center.
Too much of this cute stuff here. You see?
All right, so the Cardinals are going to take over here on downs, but they are deep in their own territory. They would march the length of the field, and then Kyler Murray throws what looks to be a perfect pass to A.J. Green. And guys,
he never looked.
He's not looking.
He
never looked around.
Come on, man.
He's not looking.
That's the play of the game. That's the play of the game.
If he looks around, the game is over.
That's it.
Come down to one play, Jack. One play.
I couldn't figure out what he was thinking, Vince. He was looking at the DB, and the DB looked inside to his inside shoulder. So I'm thinking,
there's one play left. There's only you have to throw the ball.
Exactly.
The ball's intended for you. Turn around, catch it. He just wasn't on the same page. And, you know, a lot of times, Kyle, it comes down to chemistry between quarterback and receiver. You can just look at your receiver and tell him sign language, and they'll run the right play.
Now, DeAndre Hopkins was not in the game at this point. He was nursing a hamstring injury the entire game. So you got to believe this ball's going to A.J. Green. But what's A.J. Green thinking on that play? Why is he not looking back for the football? What is his role on this play?
You see, he looks at that corner right there, and that corner's looking inside. He sees the ball. So he's stymied right there. It's almost like he said, should I turn inside, maybe stop an interception? In the meantime, the ball is coming over his outside shoulder and it's picked off. Yeah. The corner never took his eye off of it.
Yeah, Kyler Murray is expecting the stop fade. It's a fade route, and then he stops suddenly and turns around. Well, Green never turned around, and obviously Rasul Douglas did. Makes what could be the play of the year, definitely ending this game and the undefeated run for the Arizona Cardinals. And here's the irony of the whole thing. Rasul Douglas was just picked up off of a practice squad October 6th. And guess whose practice squad it was? The Arizona Cardinals.
Wow.
I'll tell you what, that was a heck of an interception. That was a really, really good hands for his first interception. Let's start to break this game down a little bit, and let's back up, because I remember we were all watching this game together in the sports office, having some fun, and it was early third quarter. And the Cardinals were trailing by 10 points in the game. And they had the ball in their own 45, and they had 4th and 4 to go.
Yeah.
And they decided to go for it. And I'm yelling and screaming, you got to be kidding me. There's 10 minutes to go in the third quarter, and they're going for it in their own territory on 4th and 4. This is the new NFL.
The new NFL.
I disagreed with it, and Vince, you're saying it's the right move. It's the right move.
It was unconventional. They needed to get something going to get their team on the move, Kyle. I mean, it was just simply, let's create a play here. 4th and 4. We're going down the field. We got to keep this drive alive. We're down by 10 points, okay? So they're driving the ball. It's looking pretty decent. It stalls, and it's 4th down, midfield, almost midfield. They're going to go for it. You see Kyler Murray had this problem all day. They tried to keep him in the pocket quite a bit, and so here you go on the 4th down play. They convert.
And they got it.
They convert. He goes to Andre Hopkins. There it is. There's the 1st down. So this is a gamble. Sometimes you have to do something excitable to get your team motivated and to get them enthusiastic about getting down the field. And this is what they did. Here they go to Zach Ernst. This is what they ran last week for a touchdown. So the short week, I think, crippled Arizona. And it was to the benefit of the Packers because the Packers came in with more clever and deceptive ways to create plays, and then they were smart to use the right personnel.
Well, I say, hindsight's 20/20, and they got the 1st down, and they went the length of the field and scored a touchdown. But if they don't, and the Packers take over on their 45, going in, you've just given Aaron Rodgers a short field.
The last time you said that, Brandon Staley went for it on 4th and 2 in his own territory, and it ended up turning the game around. So reckless plays, I think they referred to them as taking some chances. They paying off on
But don't you think 4th and 2 is a little different than 4th and 4? I'm still sticking with my guns. I'm saying it was a bad play, but they got it, and we'll move on. All right, Ron, let's bring you in from Pitts Island, and let's talk about the first drive of the second half. And it's one that you were disappointed in how the Arizona Cardinals responded, and it ended in a turnover.
Well, as bad as the first half was going for Arizona, it was still a relatively close game score-wise. So I figured if they could come out in the second half and get something going, they had a chance. Well, they ripped off a decent run on 1st down, but then the trouble started. 2nd down, they get a sack. And then you got this feeling like there's something wrong. Kyler Murray seemed out of sync. The whole offense seemed out of sync. I noticed one thing Green Bay did. They did what they call mush rush. They rushed, but they made sure they kept him in the pocket. And that was key. And then on 3rd down, he's trying to throw the ball. I don't know if he's trying to throw it away. It gets tipped and intercepted. And from that point forward, you knew that Arizona was in big trouble. They never got any rhythm. They were out of sync the whole game. And I'm going to give the credit to Johnny Gray and Kirk Olivadotti, the 2 men calling plays for Green Bay, because they lost Joe Barry, their defensive coordinator, because of COVID. So they had to switch things up and make some changes, and I thought it was an excellent job by an experienced guy in Jerry Gray. Jerry Gray, now, he's been a defense coordinator before in this league. He's been a defensive back coach, plenty of experience. I think the team responded to him in a very big way at a very crucial time.
Jerry is a teammate of Vince and I. First round pick out of Texas.
Very nice. Now, there was, we touched on this already at the top of the show, but there was a time, a couple of times, we saw Green Bay Packers got the ball down at the goal line, inside the 5 at times, and it just seems they are so reluctant, Jackie, to run the football down there. You've got Aaron Jones. You've got A.J. Dillon.
You got everybody. I mean, it's this cute football. I'm dated. I'm so dated when it comes to what you are doing with the football when you get inside the 10-yard line. I mean, if you looked at the Green Bay Packers and watched what they did the first time they got down there, this is Jones. Watch what they do. Boom! Right at the line of scrimmage. Pounding, pushing, getting down in there and getting the big offensive lineman involved in there. Push the ball in the end zone. That's what you're supposed to do when you get down there. Now, a little bit later, take a look at this. Here you got all of your receivers, all of your good receivers are out, and you're throwing, and I just missed this one right here. the tight end didn't get both feet down, but still you're throwing the football. Why are you throwing the football inside the 5-yard line? And none of your star receivers are healthy. Here we go again, incomplete. Incomplete. I just do not understand. Now Coach LaFleur, bless his heart, he was a part of a GAFU down in Super Bowl 51, where they decided after Julio Jones made that big catch, they decided instead of pounding that football up in there, they threw it and they went backwards 20 yards and they couldn't even kick a field goal. So he's been party to this kind of shenanigans for a number of years now. So I just got to get used to it. If you were to talk to guys that I played with like Dennis Harrer and Irv Pankey and Doug Smith and Doug, if you talk to these people, they're going to just throw their hands up in the air and say, why aren't they running the football? Why aren't you running the football? Because it involves the big people in the game, and then it minimizes the chances of failure. All of these balls getting tipped and batted and intercepted in the end zone is a bad thing, in my opinion, and I just think some of this cuteness with these guys trying to do this all the time is going to really hurt them in games that really matter.
Especially when you don't have Devontae Adams. You don't have Marquez Valdez-Scantling. You don't have your top 3 wide receivers. They even lost their tight end in this game, Robert Tonyan.
And you're throwing the football.
Still throwing the football to a bunch of guys that most people out there couldn't even name.
Sometimes you can get too cute, Jackie.
Yeah,
sometimes you can, and I think, just go back to the physicality, especially when you have your runners that are healthy and you have your linemen, they want to get off the football. But, yeah, when you're down inside the 10-yard line, you have less room to work with in the passing game as well.
What in the world?
So, you have to be.
Exactly. And the irony here is that the Arizona Cardinals came into this game ranked 5th in the NFL in rushing the ball. They were averaging 136 yards per game running. They don't run the ball. They end up limping out of this thing, literally 74 yards total rushing.
All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break from the football talk right now. We've got some breaking news at LAX. Let's go to Alex Michelson in our newsroom. Alex?
Yeah, Kyle, just a bizarre incident that is happening at LAX. Things slowly starting to get back to normal there after a man with a gun was reported. There were reports and somebody screaming about a man with a gun. All the flights were stopped. People started to evacuate themselves from the terminals and move out onto the airfield. There was, in that chaos, 2 people were hurt. One person transported to a hospital. You see some of them there. Those are people that essentially evacuated themselves. After all of that, there was never any gun found. There were no shots fired. All of this apparently based off of a false report. The south side of LAX is slowly getting back to normal. The north side still has not. You see the ambulance there because one person was injured in all of the chaos there. So we are going to have more on this. Our colleague Coco McAvoy is at LAX right now talking to people. She'll join us at the top of the hour for the Fox 11 News at 10 when Christine and myself join you once again, Kyle. For now, though, let's have some more fun.
Okay, Alex, thanks so much for that update. Meanwhile, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, LA Times NFL writer Sam Farmer will join us live to discuss the latest from around the NFL, plus the Rams and Chargers. But first, here's our player profile.
Player Profile, sponsored by your SoCal Hyundai dealer. There's never been a better time to get that new Hyundai you've always wanted. It's your journey. Own it. Learn more at buyhyundai.com or see your SoCal Hyundai dealer today.
Our Hyundai player profile tonight, Green Bay defensive tackle Kenny Clark. He was a 4-star recruit at Carter High School in Rialto. He was also a first-team All-Pac-12 at UCLA his junior year when he declared for the NFL draft. His rookie season at 20 years old, he was the youngest Green Bay player in a season opener since 1930. In 2020, he signed a huge 4-year, $70 million contract, and he is worth the money. He hosts an annual...
He is really good at what he does.
He also hosts an annual youth summer football camp during the summer in Rialto. This guy really is something.
Oh, he's special. Ain't no doubt about it.
And he had every big man's dream in college. He caught a touchdown pass against Virginia in 2015.
No,
That's a little flat route.
They never threw me a flat route. They never threw me a flat route.
Man,
See,
the ball was right there in his gut. You couldn't help but catch the ball.
Was that a dream of yours to be tackle eligible?
No, not get tackled. Don't want to get tackled. Just
to
throw
be
me,
eligible.
Throw me the ball.
Yeah.
Just,
To be eligible.
I'm like Keyshawn Johnson. Throw me the ball.
There it is.
All right, we're going to take a timeout. We'll be back with more right after this.
And that is Kenny